Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in the game Invincible, the hero building, what's the full name? The hero building game, Invincible, the hero building game. This is based on a graphic novel series that has become an Amazon Prime show, and it looks like this. You may have seen this image before. There aren't a lot of photos on Board Game Geek right now, so this is the main image that I'll show for this video. But for what I'll describe, you don't really need images. This is a bag building game in which you are simultaneously working together with other players to fight through a series of bad guys and to save innocent bystanders. The core mechanism in the game is a push your luck bag building mechanism. It's very similar to the Quacks of Quedlinburg, but with some really clever tweaks and adjustments and twists that I really enjoyed. The idea in this is that you are simultaneously pulling 3 cubes at a time from your own bag. There are 5 different colors of cubes. 4 of them are specific colors that you need to place on specific abilities, either on your player mat or on your cards, to eventually have enough cubes on those abilities to trigger that ability. But if you draw a total of 5 black cubes, and I did look to see if there's a more thematic description for these cubes, but no, all the cubes are just named after the color of their cubes. If you draw 5 black cubes, so if you have really over the course of a round, if you have drawn a total of 5 black cubes, then you crash. You don't die, but you need to be kind of revived by other players. You've crashed them, and so there is a reason to stop drawing cubes at a certain point. However, the 2 tweaks on this, the two twists. One is that you're drawing 3 cubes at a time. So that's different than Quacks of Quedlinburg, where you're drawing 1 token at a time. And I really like it in Invincible. You're drawing 3 tokens at a time. It feels like you're getting a lot all at once. And there's an increased risk as you have more and more, as you accumulate black cubes, that you will have drawn that 5th black cube, since you're drawing 3 at a time, not just 1 at a time. Quacks counters this by putting different numerical values on the token. So I don't think this is a fix for Quacks in any way. Quacks is perfect the way it is. The other neat twist, though, is, and this is a somewhat corollary to Quacks. I know I keep comparing it to Quacks. Check out Quacks of Quedlinburg if you haven't played that game. But the black cubes that you draw are not dead cubes. In fact, they are wild cubes. They are the best possible cube you can draw. So they are both the worst cube that you can draw because you don't want to accumulate 5 of them, but they're also the best cube because you can place them on any of those 4 color slots on your player mat or on your cards. So those 2 twists, I think, are really, really interesting in this game, that you're drawing 3 at a time. You don't want to crash and burn with 5 black cubes, but the black cubes in the meantime, before you crash and burn, are wild. They're really powerful. They are the best type of cube that you can actually draw. So no matter what you draw, for the first 2 draws at least, it feels really good. I guess the one other twist to this is I mentioned the game is simultaneous, and really almost everything in the game is fully simultaneous, including how you're interacting with the arch enemies and the henchmen that you're fighting. But the bag pulls are also simultaneous. So you are drawing at your own pace. I might draw 5 handfuls of cubes. I might draw 3 cubes 5 times before you even draw your second set of 3 cubes out of the bag. That's entirely up to your pace and the pace of the table. You don't have to wait for any other players. It's truly simultaneous in that way, which I really appreciate. That's my favorite mechanism of the game, that cube draw mechanism. I also wanted to mention that the tutorial is pretty solid. In that, like, we just sat down not knowing the rules to the game, and the game says in certain places, hey, just play it. And it essentially has you read the rule book as you play. That's the tutorial part that I'm saying is just fine. But the part that is really well done is that the way the decks are shrink wrapped in the game, they are the cards are staggered so that they're set up for your first game, your first experience with the game. So you don't have to sort through the decks to find all the first game cards. They're ready for you. They're prepackaged for you, which I thought was really great. The other thing I thought was clever is that, and this is a comparison to the Undaunted series, in that there are innocent bystanders in this game that you're trying to protect. And sometimes some of them may die. You're trying to make sure a certain number of them don't die. But I thought it was just a small, clever, really important adjustment for the game to put people's faces on these tokens. So not only are they just, they're not just innocent bystanders, like nameless, faceless innocent bystanders. They are specific people with specific names, especially if you know the graphic novels or the TV show. And so it puts a little bit more weight to protecting these bystanders because they're not just generic cubes. They're people with faces and names and backstories that you were trying to protect. I thought that was clever too. So yeah, those are my favorite mechanisms and elements of Invincible, the hero building game. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've played the game. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks.